up, guys? It's your boy, Vegan Ambition, and in this one, I'm bringing you a completely unplanned episode. So, I was just in the middle of shooting my first 4 day of eating video when I started to see on some of my cleaned and dried pieces of cutlery that I had little white specks of dust on them. Now, initially I thought nothing of it, and it wasn't until I took a really close look that I saw that these little specks of dust were actually moving. And honestly, guys, there must have been 100, 200, 300 pieces of these little tiny insects, these mites, all over the cutlery. I was absolutely disgusted, and of course, I initially blamed myself for not keeping the kitchen in the tidiest state and leaving little pieces of food debris around everywhere. Now, I started to just rewash everything, and then I noticed there was just more and more all around the sink coming from the drains. There's just absolutely loads of these little mites. So, of course, my initial reaction was to go straight to Google and type in something like white specks of moving dust in the kitchen. I don't know what I searched, something like that. The general consensus was that I had what was known as flour mites or grain mites. I hadn't opened any flour. I didn't really have any grains that would be left open apart from maybe a box of Weetabix, but I'd checked that and there was nothing on it. That was clean. So I continued to inspect the kitchen, and when I was doing this, I opened my flatmate's cupboard. Okay guys, brace yourselves, this is absolutely horrible. I would not wish this on anybody. Here are the flour or grain mites. Can you see them? Can you see them crawling around? They're so small, but in this cupboard, my flatmate's cupboard, there was so many. The black ones are the ones that are dead. The white ones you can't see. So how we're going to deal with these, I do not know. I'm just going to hoover them away. All the food that was in here, I've thrown away. All of the pots that are in there, I'm trying to wash. Lining all of the cupboard doors, the back of the cupboard, the front of the cupboard, the sides of the cupboard. There were just these tiny little specks, these little black specks and brown specks and white specks when you look really closely. Now, I obviously knew now that this was the cause of the issue, and I actually could see in his top cupboard that there was this loaf of bread that had a sell-by date of July the 18th on. Bear in mind, it is now September the 1st, so that is over 2 months. That's over 9 weeks out of date bread. Now, this bread was black, it was practically a liquid, and obviously I knew that I shouldn't have allowed him to leave this in there for so long, him being away from the house. Now, there was also some flour in there which was sealed, so maybe that wasn't the cause of the issue. Each female can produce up to 800 children, little stupid mites, in their lifetime. If you think about the numbers, one female, 800 mites, how many of those are going to be female? Well, every single one of them is going to be another 800, and I guess this accounts for the absolutely ridiculous amount that I've infested my kitchen, and I hope to God that none of these will infest your kitchen. So I've just hoovered the crevices of the cupboard, and I've hoovered all of the doors, trying to get rid of any live mites that may be left. And I've thrown away most of his food. Hopefully these live mites will not be able to penetrate my food, and therefore they'll have no food source. So by the time I'm back in the house, hopefully they will have gone and all will be good. I know it's not very vegan on my behalf, but option A is to allow them to keep infesting the whole kitchen, spoiling all of the food in there, spoiling all of my food, spoiling all of his food, and getting on any future food that I'm going to buy. Or option B is just to simply try to get rid of them. So in conclusion, guys, my advice to you is any grains such as pasta or rice or bread or porridge oats or wheat or anything of that sort, just make sure that you keep it sealed in tight containers. Don't leave it exposed. But if you're like me and you haven't prevented the mass spreading of flour mites or grain mites, then really the solution is to just remove the food source that they're feasting on, and within a week hopefully they'll all have died and you can stop eating little flour mites in your tea. Now I'm going to try and get back to my 4 day of eating video. I'm going to make some quinoa, kidney bean and vegetables as meal 2 of the day. Meal 3 of the day, I'm going to make a tofu stir fry. Keep me in your prayers, guys. Hopefully I'll still be alive before the next episode. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next episode of House of Squalor. When you ask somebody why they're not vegan, they'll say X, Y, and Z. So my intention in this video today is to give you X, Y, and Z.